Hey Unitatos, how you doing? I'm Maria.
And I'm George.
And we're the two fat freak Unitatos.
And welcome to the Unitato show. Today we're doing the Speak Jammer challenge. Basically, the Speak Jammer is an app on our phones, and what it does, it delays what you say, and you hear it with a little bit of delay. So it makes you pause all the time. What we're going to do is we're going to put stopwatch for 1 minute. We're going to see who can read the most pages from the book. Of course, I'm reading Unitato.
And I'm reading Mr. Jelly.
And Mr. Jelly is here with us.
Hey guys.
So, rock, paper, scissors, or should...
You go first.
Okay, I go first. Mista was very tall. Quite the tallest person you have ever met. In fact, quite the tallest person you have ever met. Because you have never met anybody with legs as long as Mistato's legs. Have you? Now the problem with being as tall as Mista meant that life was just one long problem, as you can see. Oh dear, he used to sigh. Oh dear me, I do so wish that my legs weren't quite so very long. He decided to go for a walk to think over his problem. He was just stepping over a tree when he heard a little voice. Hello! It was Mr. Small standing underneath a daisy, but Mr. was so tall he couldn't see him. So Mr. Small shouted at the top of his voice, Hello! And Mr. Small shouted about as loud as a bee's sneeze. So it took quite...
Okay.
Oh, we forgot to say that. Whoever loses gets to chew on the flower.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait. Go. Mr. Toe was very tall. Quite the tallest person you ever met. In fact, quite the tallest person you've never met. Because you've never met anybody with legs as long as Mr. Toe's legs. Have you? Now, the problem with being as tall as Mr. Toe meant that life was just one long problem, as you can see. Oh dear, he used to sigh. Oh dear me. I do wish that my legs weren't quite so very long. He decided to go for a walk to think over his problem. He was just stepping over a tree when he heard a little voice. Hello! It was Mr. Small, standing underneath a daisy, but Mr. Toe was so tall couldn't see him. So Mr. Small shouted at the top of his voice, Hello. Hi. Hello. And Mr. And let me say this time.
You stopped at 10 seconds. Round 2.
Mr. Jelly, start the time.
Poor Mr. Jelly was frightened of everything and anything. At the slightest little thing, he would quiver and tremble and shake and turn to jelly. So it's not really surprising to find that Mr. Jelly lives as far away from anybody that he can find. In the middle of a wood, miles and miles from anywhere. His story begins one morning when Mr. Jelly was asleep. It was a beautiful autumn morning. The sun was shining, the leaves of the trees had turned to a glorious red, and the wind stirred gently in the treetops. A single leaf fell gently from the tree right outside Mr. Jelly's house and quietly brushed against his bedroom window as it fell. Mr. Jelly awoke with a start. What a terrible noise, he cried. Oh heavens! The house is falling down. Oh disaster, it's an earthquake. Oh calamity, it's the end of the world. And he did under the bedclothes trembling with fright. After an hour, by which time he realized that his house wasn't falling down, and there wasn't an earthquake, and the world wasn't coming to an end. And go!
Poor Mr. Jelly was frightened of everything and anything. At the slightest little thing, he would quiver and tremble and shake and turn to jelly. So it's not really surprising to find that Mr. Jelly lives as far away from anybody that he can find. In the middle of a wood, miles and miles from anywhere. This story begins one morning when Mr. Jelly was asleep. It was a beautiful autumn morning. The sun was shining, the leaves on the trees had turned to a glorious red, and the wind stirred gently into the treetops. A single leaf fell gently from the tree right outside Mr. Jelly's house and quietly brushed against his bedroom window as it fell. Mr. Jelly awoke with a start. "What is the terrible noise?" he cried. "Oh heavens, the house is falling down! Oh disaster! It's an earthquake! Oh calamity! It's the end of the world!" And he hid under the bedclothes, trembling with fright. After an hour, by which time he realized that how...
Stop.
Shit, you beat me!
Round 3. Go. This is the story of Mr. Strong. Mr. Strong is the strongest person in the whole wide world. The strongest person that has ever been, and probably the strongest person there ever will be. He's so strong he can not only bend an iron bar with his bare hands, he can tie knots on it. Mr. Strong is so strong he can throw a cannonball as far as you or I can throw a tennis ball. Mr. Strong is so strong he can hammer nails into walls just by tapping them with his finger. Strong by name and strong by nature. And would you like to know the secret of Mr. Strong's strength? X. The more X Mr. Strong gets, the stronger he becomes. Stronger, stronger, and stronger. Anyway, the story is about a funny thing that happened to Mr. Strong one day. That morning he was having breakfast, and for breakfast he was having eggs, followed by eggs, and to finish having, guess what? That's right, eggs. That's all Mr. Strong's normal breakfast. After his...
Będzie trabiało. Дай ему воды на ногами стал. Да.
Thank you.
This is the story of Mr. Strong. Mr. Strong is the strongest person in the whole wide world. The strongest person there ever has been, and probably the strongest person who ever will be. He's so strong he cannot only bend an iron bar with his bare hands, he can tie knots in it. Mr. Strong is so strong he can throw a cannonball far as you and I can throw tennis. Mr. Strong is so strong he can hammer nails into wall just by tapping them with his fingers. Strong by name and strong by nature. And would you like to know the secret of Mr. Strong? X. The more X Mr. Strong is, the stronger he becomes. Stronger and stronger and stronger. Anyway, this story is about a funny thing that happened to Mr. Strong one day. That morning he was having breakfast, and for the breakfast he was having eggs, followed by eggs, and to finish he was cutting, guess what was? That was right, eggs. That was Mr. Strong's normal breakfast. After his eggy breakfast...
And...
I did this too.
After his eggy breakfast it is.
Pia παραπάνω. No, not the orange one, these ones.
This one. Yeah.
Oh, the purple one.
No, not the purple one. This one.
Okay, good.
Enjoy.
Oh.
You don't have to. You don't have to pour it.
No, I'm not eating that part.
It's in here.
Yeah.
Like all in one go.
No.
Yes. Just bite it.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and follow us on our other social medias. And